that we can see things that are happening around the earth. If you will go to Jeremiah chapter 29, and we'll start at verse 1. Just want to move through some things and try to get an understanding. Now this week, we do have a theme, and it is verse 11. By the time we get there, you'll see, you'll have a good vision of what I'm talking about. But he tells us that he knows his plans for us. So in him knowing Yahweh God Creator, knowing his plans for us, what should we really expect? What should we really do while we wait? And do we do nothing while we wait? Or do we do something while we wait? I need to know. Because if I need to do something, what is it I'm to do? And if I can understand in plain language what I am to do, let me just step back a little bit. In our traditional upbringing, what we were taught, we must serve only with fear and trembling. I understand that, but really, what does it mean? For real. What does it really mean to serve him with fear and trembling? Okay. Fear of Yahweh is the beginning of what? Wisdom. So that opens up something there. There's something big there, because remember in the 10 virgins, 5 are foolish, 5 are wise. So the beginning of wisdom is to fear Yahweh. So if I fear him, I do tremble at his name, at his presence. Is that all I need to do? But he says, serve him with fear and trembling. So what do I need to do in serving? How do I serve Elohim? I can't see him. Remember when Yeshua girded himself and bent down and began to wash the disciples' feet? And Kepha would not allow him to do that. And he said to him, Kepha, if I do not, you will have no part with me in my Father's kingdom. Master, not only my feet, but all of me. Wash me until I'm clean. Make me new and I'm yours. So, I get that. But he said, now what you see me do, you also do for one another. So now, are we to run around washing people's feet? Take your shoes off. We see them in the street, have a seat, take your shoes off. Sister, hold on just a second, I gotta tell, sit down. We have to understand when he speaks to us, rightly dividing the word. When we serve each other in life. I need some help, brother. Can you help me? What you need? I need $2. I got to put some food on the table. My children are hungry. I lost my job. Our rent is due. They're talking about putting us out. Help one another. Sister, we're going to Sukkot. What's Sukkot? You're serving. I How you doing, my brother? Look like you're going through a rough day. I just want you to know that Yahweh has your back. I don't know what you're going through. I'm not really asking for you to share it with me, but I just see that you're very perplexed. And it's just in my spirit right now just to tell you that He loves you in your situation. I don't know what it is, but He died for you. So when you're going through issues in your life, don't feel like you're by yourself. I need for you to remember He said before He left us that if you suffer with Him, and I think you might be suffering that, I don't know. I think I perceive by your demeanor, by your character, by things, because I know you. I've been around you long enough to be able to approach you. Because we're supposed to be boys. I know you. So if you're going through something and you don't need to share it, you don't have to. But I'm only here to tell you that Yahweh's got your back. And He's covering you even now. So lift up your head and understand that the blessings of Abraham are waiting for you. Their inheritance, they're there. So whatever you're going through now, whether it's finances, sickness, issues of life, family issues, whatever it is. And brother, please don't think that I'm trying to prod you to tell me. I just brought you a word of life. That's all. Amen. We serve one another. There's many more ways. So as He washed their feet, what did He do? He showed Himself as an humble servant. We ought to serve one another. Sukkot is a good time that we serve one another. We will eat together. That means somebody has to cook. That means someone else has to clean. That means somebody has to be a watchman over the trash. That means someone else has to be a watchman over the children. That means that we serve the community. We serve one another. What is all this about?
Hallelujah.
That we should live. That's what it's about.
Hallelujah.
That we should live. So the expectation is about life. And never letting one of our brothers feel that they're alone. But they're a part of a greater community.
Hallelujah.
Even though we may be hidden for a time, we are in a place of destiny, waiting for the manifestation of reality. Jeremiah 29, verse 1. And these are the words, the letter of which Jeremiah, the prophet, sent to Jerusalem, to the rest of the elders of the exile, and the priests, and to the prophets, and to all the peoples whom Nebuchadnezzar had exiled from Jerusalem to Babylon. Our setting is Babylon. And if you can just kind of put I guess I would say a bookmark on the word Babylon, that's going to be very key to what I kind of go through. Babylon. Everyone say Babylon?
Babylon.
Now we know that Babylon brings into the picture a timeline. Although when we read it, we don't look at it as such. But it's traceable. We can go back in time and begin to understand the pattern if we search. And this is basically what I've done. I have searched for patterns. So in our timeline here, I will use, from what I understand, a year 606 BC. Someone have that up for me? Thank you. Say it there's a message right away starting out. There's a message. This is Daniel, who now gets an understanding of a timeline and events that are about to happen. But we're speaking of Jeremiah, who is also in captivity, along with Daniel, and then a little while later comes Ezekiel. So we have this 20-year period of time that is about to embark on Israel. Some have already been taken, some will be taken. Jeremiah, just to give a little background, more background on Jeremiah, he is writing this letter to those who are in captivity because there was another whose name is, who was also a prophet from not dealing with Yahweh. He wasn't sent by Yahweh, in other words. His name is Shemaiah. He sends a letter into the high priest of that time, or the priest, accusing Jeremiah of not being a part of them because he were not taken at that time. And just really, this is what you would call Lashon Hara, character assassination. He must not be one of us, because why wasn't he taken? And all the things that he was able to speak against Jeremiah. Jeremiah who? And so now he's writing in response. So that's where we're at. And in response, I needed for you to understand the setting is Babylon. They have, some have gone off into captivity, but this is the southern kingdom. The northern kingdom had gone another 135, maybe 140 years prior, which was in 722. And this is prior to 586 BC, prior to. So here's a 20-year gap where there's word going out and saying, get it straight, the wrath is coming, get ready, the wrath is coming, and they're not hearing. So, go down to verse 4.